Many authors come to us and the book is already written and they just send us a manuscript. But often we get to work with an author before the book is even written, while we're still in the development stage. For those books, I take our aspiring authors through the 5 W's. And we think about the who, what, where, when, and why of a book. Today we're going to talk about the when of a book. If there's anything overwhelming to an aspiring author, it's the when. People always say to me, when will I find the time? I don't have time to write a book. And then they're shocked that I want the book written in a short period of time. In fact, at Red Penguin, we won't take a client contract for more than 6 months. Because honestly, if you really want to write that book, you will. Now, of course, we're not talking about War and Peace here. Most books are much shorter than that. But the fact is we do have time in our schedules. So it's a matter of prioritizing and setting goals. One of the first things we do is set up what our goals are going to be time-wise. Let's say we planned a book that had 12 chapters in it, and you wanted to write that 12-chapter book in 6 months. Well, that's only 2 chapters a month. Not so bad. A chapter every 2 weeks. If we broke it down into a word count, you would actually have to work at your book for less than 15 minutes a day. Maybe you're better off writing 3 times a week in a whole hour or 2-hour segment. There are different ways of planning out your time, but the key is to prioritize your time. If writing a book is a priority to you, you will do it. You also want to be prepared with the when to write the book whenever the inspiration hits you. For example, one of the things I recommend to aspiring authors is to think in terms of an outline, let's say that 12-chapter book, and have blank documents all ready with the titles of each of the 12 chapters. If you're suddenly inspired one day about chapter 6, then write chapter 6. You've got a blank document already there for you. You certainly do not need to write your book from the beginning through to the end. Even fiction writers don't necessarily write all of it from the beginning to the end. They might write in certain scenes. If you're working on a fiction book, then you'll think of your book in terms of scenes that your characters will interact in. You might even have 2 tracks so that you have the story told from one view and from another, and the different scenes. Once your outline is done, you can write whatever scene you want. You might want to write the ending first, before the beginning. That's okay. As long as you have prioritized your writing, made yourself a schedule with an ending date in mind. Don't just write a book for some time in the future. Pick your